Yeah, I go live at 12 p.m. Eastern time, boss. Hello.
Is my music? Hello?
Hi.
Hi. I have a question. My name is Kristen,
Hi, Kristen.
and so I've been talking to this guy for a month. I'm not too invested. I'm not sure if I still like him, but he's going a little slower than I'm used to, which is good. But also, I just don't know if it's like that he's going slow or if it's low effort, low interest. And if it is, I'm not too invested yet. I'm ready to move on. So I don't know.
Okay.
I
What's your question here?
so okay, so we've gone on 3 dates
Okay.
and in this past month, and they've all been activity dates. Two of them were my idea. So we haven't really had a chance to like talk,
Hmm.
about like intentions and stuff, like what we're really looking for because
Right.
they have been activity dates. And so yesterday we were talking, and so in between dates, we don't really text a lot, we don't call, which I personally enjoy, especially like in the talking stage. I enjoy my little yapping sessions. Not every day, of course, because I don't know him, but I just feel, I don't know, I just feel like it's very low effort, and I don't know. So I don't know what the question is. So
Sounds like it. I mean, is the question, should you continue seeing him?
yeah, I think so. Like it's been a month. As of now, we don't have a next date's planned. And like I said, like we text maybe every couple days. But yesterday we were talking, and then out of no, like I asked him, like I kind of like ended the conversation. I was like, all right, get some rest, bye. Not bye, obviously. But then he asked, okay, I'm not even gonna get into that because. And so, anyways, I told him like, oh, like pick a song that you think like fits my vibe, and he's like, honestly, I think you're kind of hard to read. I just don't know if you're neutral about things or if you are just bored and then he's like, but you're fun and I enjoy our combo and our conversations and your company. And to me, I was like, oh, that feels like you friend zoned me right now.
Hmm. He said that you were hard to read, or you told him he was hard to read?
No, he said that I'm hard to read, which I've been told by like other people I've dated because I don't know, I feel like I'm someone who like will stop and think about things, like I don't know, I'm just a very observant person. I'm not like very reactive. So, I'm just taking in everything, thinking about it. And yeah, I've been told that by a couple guys.
Hmm.
But no, I'm not I don't feel like I'm nonchalant. I don't know, I think about things. I don't know.
Right. But that basically means you don't live in the moment. So when you're with
Uh
them,
I I I do,
so
but
if people are telling you you're hard to read, and you're telling me it's
I know
because you're,
I don't get I don't understand them.
if
I
they say
felt
they're
like I'm
hard, that you're hard to
underplaying.
read, and it's like, and it's if they're saying that the experience of you is hard to read, and your answer to that is, yeah, because I like to think about things and process. You're thinking about stuff in your process, and you're not in the moment. You can't do both.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like all the dates I've been on, they've been good.
Okay.
Um, it's just, yeah, I have gotten that comment before.
Got you. Okay.
But yeah, so as far as this guy, I don't know. I feel like it's a little low effort, low interest. I don't know. Maybe
Okay.
I should wait to see if there's
So how long
this
have y'all been dating?
a month. We started talking a month ago.
And you've been on 2 dates?
Three.
Three. Okay. And
And
you
right now the next one isn't planned.
got
So
you.
I'm not like so much like, why isn't he asking me out? I'm more
Right.
just like, should I just let it go, like let it flow, or
How
should I
long
just
ago
like
was your was
let
your
my
last
emotions?
how long ago was your last date?
I don't even know. I think it was last Friday.
Okay. So basically a week ago.
Yeah, a week ago, and no date set for this week. And then I know next weekend he's busy, so
And how
I
did
don't know.
y'all
And
meet?
he has asked me. He has asked me out twice, two other times, but like day of. and I was just not open to, I just don't feel like he deserves that spontaneous energy from me right now, like a day out, I just thought like that was low effort. I
Okay.
don't know.
Okay. That
What do you
last
think?
thing you said is we were kind of getting into like ego game territory. Um, it's best to think in terms of like what do you want to do. I have to tell this to guys all the time. This is like the games that we have to play to date nowadays is ridiculous. I have a video that getting a lot of traction right now of a guy comes into this live a lot. One of my homeboys, but he had a situation where he tried to get a woman to go on a date on Thursday, and he was like, "Well, she's trying to. Well, he was trying to take her out on Thursday, and she said, make it Friday, and it's a bet, right?" And he was like, "Well, she's trying to control the date day, so I'm not going to give her that, right?" So he was like, "I'll let you know."
Yeah.
Even though he was free on Friday, he was like, "I'll let you know," right? He kind of was thinking the same way that you're thinking about this situation. And then she ghosted him. And I told him, I said, "Okay,
Yeah.
let's say there was two versions of you. Version one just went on the date, and version two did what you did. Which version of you is happier?" And he was like, version one. And I was like, yeah, let's think that way when we make decisions. Let's not think about like who has the power or who's winning or who has leverage. It's like, just enjoy yourself, right? That's all it is. Just enjoy yourself. You don't have to think too much about this stuff. Someone
No,
took two
I
hours to
get that.
text you. You don't have to wait 3 hours to text them back, right? That's just keeps people
No,
single.
and I no, and okay, I'm a little nervous, obviously, because I'm on this live,
You're fine.
but I'm definitely someone who doesn't fall into the games. Like I'm enjoying the dating experience. So
Hmm.
like I'm not someone who's gonna be like he didn't text me back. I'm not gonna text him. But
Right.
I just feel like everything so far has been at his pace,
Okay.
and I've respected it because I have been known to fall for the little love bombing and move things a little
Okay.
too fast. So
Right.
this slower pace, it feels good. Like I'm not complaining about it.
Okay.
But also, I'm kind of like, okay, when is the intention? When is there going to be like, am I going to feel like there's genuine interest? And I told
Right.
him yesterday, well, because I don't know, I just feel like yesterday when he said, like, you're fun, like, I know he said, I enjoy your company and I enjoy your conversation. I feel like you put me in a casual category because we've gone on these activity dates.
Right.
Um,
It's possible. How did you meet him?
through an app.
Through Hinge? Is that the app?
Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Well, that increases the odds. This is like a casual situation. Um, the only signal that I'm hearing in terms of what he said to you is the whole like you're hard to read, which implies that he's trying to read you. He's trying to read you.
Yeah.
There is a degree of investment there, and you may be unintentionally giving signals off that you're not interested,
Yeah.
right? So
and
he
and
might
he
be.
so
Go
he
ahead.
also said, and again, like I do like him, and I would like to continue like to go on another date, like no problem. But at the same time, I feel like, and I did tell him everything's so far. It feels like a one-way street. Like I've kind of complied to his pace because I was like, okay, maybe this is like a more mature, like this is how it should be. Um, so I've complied to his pace, and I just feel like my needs, as far as like what I like, haven't been met. Like I enjoy talking on the phone, and I asked him like, "Oh, can I call you?" And he's like, "For what?" And I was like, "Okay, doesn't like conversations. But this was earlier on, the
Right.
first week.
Okay.
Another thing he said was, oh yeah, so we talked. I told him I was like, well, I feel like you've only seen me in like certain situations. He's like, yeah, we need to do different activities to see like what you're like in because I told him just not just fun, and he was like, well, I want to see you like in different situations to see what you're like, and I was like, not you trying to put me in. uh, so I don't know.
Okay. So like when he told you that he was enjoying you, your fun, what was your response to that?
I kind of more just focused on the you're fun
No. How did you respond?
to him. I said not just fun because so the last he yeah I just said I said not just fun, and I told him, well, don't know, like I feel like I might be hard to read because I don't know much about you, and we've gone on 3 dates already, and I don't feel like that comfortability yet, you know, because we don't communicate a lot in between dates.
Okay. So
So
you
I
already
just
said,
and I told him I just feel like every date so far has felt like a first date.
okay. And
And then
what was his response?
he said, "Sorry."
No, I'm sorry. You were going to tell me, but I was asking what was his response to that?
So this, he said, so in response to the like, oh, I told him, okay, so on St. Patrick's Day he tried to hang out super last minute, and I told him no, I couldn't. Um, and I said, you're trying to make me your drinking buddy, because each of the activity dates were like events, and there was drinking, obviously. Um, and so he's like, I'm kind of bummed that you don't want to be my drinking buddy, but maybe you'll be like a better DD. And then as far as like addressing the me not feeling comfortable with him or not knowing him well enough yet, he responded very vague. He's like, I just like to take things slow. Like I said, I'm a simple guy. I like to work. I like to be with my family and my friends, and that was about it. So I was like, okay,
Have y'all slept
I don't
together
know. And I
yet?
could, sorry,
Have y'all slept together yet?
no, we've only kissed.
Okay. Has he tried?
No,
Okay. 3 days. He
three
hasn't tried.
dates. But also, I am somebody who does take things slow, so it wouldn't have happened
Okay.
anyways.
That's fine. Yeah. I mean, I think what I'm getting here is like you haven't really spoken up for what you want. You've kind of been like indirectly communicating it, right? So even the spontaneous dates, you're just letting him know that you're not available. Even if you may be available, you're not. You're hoping that he gets the hint, but it would be better if you just overtly communicate it, right? I
You
need
know,
about 3 days ahead of time to prepare for
yeah,
any
no,
kind of meeting.
and I definitely feel like a conversation needs to be had of like about intentions and like what he's looking for. But I just feel like the dates we've gone on so far, again, activity dates, um, haven't allowed that kind of conversation to happen, and I just don't feel the way we've been communicating, like through text or through calls, allows. I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable doing it through text.
How
So I've been trying.
how
So I had
frequently
planned to do it on this next
how
date, but
frequently
again, it's not planned.
okay.
So,
How
and I'm not
frequently
gonna
do
plan it.
y'all communicate in between dates?
So maybe like every 2 or 3 days.
And that's via text?
Yeah. So like, yeah, via text,
Okay.
which I'm not even a fan of. I enjoy, like a good after work call on my ride home.
Yeah,
But
ultimately your biggest problem here is you're just not communicating. That's your biggest problem. You're
yeah,
not communicating,
you know,
and now you have built up the lack of communication to where when you bring this up, it's going to feel like it came out of nowhere. You got to nip things in the bud, right? When you have an
yeah,
issue, you got to bring it up, and you have to practice bringing it up in a way that's not like you bring it up in a matter of fact way, not in a like we need to talk way. You're about to bring it up in a we need to talk way, where it's going to be this heavy conversation. And that's what happens when you wait too long to address things. Is when you do address it, you address it with too much like seriousness and severity, and you scare people off, right? So you just need to let the person know exactly what you like. Not everything at once. I would pick your battles, right? If it's the lack of communication, I would address that. Like, yeah, I really like to. And the way that I tell women to do this is don't frame it as like you're dropping the ball here. Frame it as like I really like talking to you. I want to get to know you more. Like I would love to have conversations with you on the phone in between dates. What do you feel about that? Right? You're framing it in a way it was like I enjoy you, therefore I would like to talk more. Not you're dropping the ball because we're not talking enough, right? You don't even need to have the conversation about intentions for the most part because people lie, right?
yeah,
The best thing so far, this is still in the gray area. I don't have enough data to really give you clarity as to what's going on. He could be treating you in a casual way, but him not trying you yet suggests that that may not be the case. if he hasn't even tried to sleep with you yet, and y'all been on 3 dates and he hasn't tried to get you back to his place yet, then it would suggest that he's possibly not being casual, and that aligns with the whole "you're hard to read" statement, right? So you're kind of hard to
Yeah.
read, and you're hard to read because you're not in the present moment. You need to be in the present moment. You're more enjoyable when you're in the present moment and just enjoying yourself. You're more enjoyable when you're not in this analytical state and analyzing everything that's happening, analyzing everything he's saying. So focus
No, and
on, go
sorry to
ahead.
cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, so focus on just being in the moment. I'm sure you do that to a point. I'm not saying that you're never in the moment, right? Just focus on when you're with the person being in the moment. Only get into like reflection mode and thinking mode after the date. Try not to do
Yeah.
any of that on the date. Okay? So even if you're like
Okay.
if you're in the moment 60% of the time, let's get that to 80% of the time on the date. And you're just gonna have a better time if you do that. Not only will you have a better time if you do that, he's gonna have a better time with you, and you're gonna be easier to read when you're in the moment because you're not
Yeah.
editing yourself in any way.
Hmm.
Okay?
Yeah. So give him another shot, but or let it. Let's see where things go.
Yeah, you'll have
But
clarity after your next conversation, right? You'll have clarity once you start to communicate your wants and what how you need the connection to work in the way that I suggested. His response to that, because saying let's have the occasional phone call every week, or maybe let's talk every other day or something like that, is not a big ask. And if he can't meet you there, then I would say, okay, this isn't a good fit. Let me go ahead and excuse myself.
yeah, because yeah, yesterday when he was like, I had to take things slow, and I was like, okay, but I was like, slow is fine, but it's not a one-way street, you know? Like, I feel like he's been always emphasizing like his needs and hasn't really taken me into account, you know? It's not just what you need out of it. But again, I will say that I haven't voiced, I don't know, I just don't feel comfortable, honestly, talking to him about it. Maybe that is the red flag right there, me telling me to move on. But I'm like, ugh. So, all right. Well, thank you so much.
No problem, love. You take care.
Bye.
All right, Amira,
Hi,
how you doing?
are you able to hear me?
How are you?
Okay, I'm well. I was just scrolling through and I've never seen your page before, but I saw the topic and I was intrigued.
Okay.
My question is pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Um, I've been, we're not official yet. It's been 7 months now. We go to church together. We spend a lot of time together. We are intimate. We're currently fasting for church, so we haven't been intimate since that.
Okay.
But there is no, I guess you can say, title or labels. He has asked me to go on a family trip with him in December. I told him, December's a long time from now, but I end up saying yes, but there still are no titles. And at this point, now that it's been 7 months, and we've been exclusive intimately and just talking to each other, do I open the door up to exploring other options now that he hasn't solidified anything between us?
How long have y'all been dating?
7 months.
Whoa.
But I don't know if, he doesn't call me his girlfriend.
But he asked you to go on a family trip. Have you met?
Yes.
Have you met his family?
Yes, we go to his dad's church. His dad is the pastor, and he's given me a promise ring for Valentine's Day, but I'm still not the girlfriend.
What does a promise ring even mean? I'm not familiar.
For Valentine's Day, he gave me the ring, and he said this ring is symbolized that we're young, we're both 25, and so I've been trying to give it the benefit of the doubt of okay, he wants to finish college because he hasn't finished college. I've finished college. I've graduated already, and he said he wants to continue working on himself before he makes things official. But I'm like, okay, it's been 7 months and we've done all these things. I've met your family. We've been intimate. I've opened a lot of myself to you, but it feels like we're going in circles. And he hasn't asked me to be his girlfriend yet. And I'm like, okay, how long is that going to take?
So let me ask you this. If he was to ask you to be his girlfriend, if y'all were to enter into a relationship, what would change?
I would feel more secure.
No, like
physically?
practically. Nothing would change.
Nothing.
Exactly. That's the point I'm making. Nothing would change if y'all got into a relationship. So that means there's nothing really stopping them other than an unwillingness to commit.
Right. So should I explore my options with other people? Because I've been completely closed off. I have not talked to or entertained any other guys since I've met him.
What is your goal?
My goal is to get married and have kids. Neither of us have kids, or neither of us have been married yet.
Okay. So stop right there. So the way that you phrase that question puts me in the mind that you want to continue dealing with him and then also explore your options.
I want him to make a decision, but also I feel like I don't want to waste my time. And I want him to say it. Just, hey, are we going to continue going in circles? But when I have asked him, I said, hey, like, if we just need to be friends, that's cool. But he's like, no, I want you in my life. But it's never, I asked him this past Sunday before we walked into church, I said, what am I to you? He said, somebody I trust, somebody I respect, and somebody I want to spend the rest of my life with. And in my head, I'm like, well, why haven't you asked me to be your girlfriend yet?
Yeah, if your goal is marriage, I wouldn't keep this connection.
Okay.
Either you end it or you stay in it. I wouldn't keep this connection and then also explore other people. I would either end it or just stick around.
Gotcha. Thank you.
No problem, love. Best of luck to you. That's crazy. The pastor's son is moving like. Is that what's working in a new meta? Promise rings to avoid commitment. Let's take this ring. Shut up. Slip this on your finger. Shut up. Talking to me. Now bend that ass over in the name of the Father, Son. T, what's going on? You're muted. Pastor kids are the worst. I've heard that. I've never had much experience with pastor's kids, but I've heard horror stories. Yes, I can hear you, T. What's going on?
I was wondering if you think it's possible to like turn someone or like make a narcissist like normal.
No.
You know what I mean? Like undo a narcissist.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, it's a personality disorder. It doesn't work like that.
Okay, because I dated this guy for a year, and obviously, like, you know how narcissists work, like, you don't come off like that at the beginning, right? And then, like, I slowly realized, and then at that point, I just thought, like, his, like, bad childhood made him, like, insecure and all these things, so I kept making excuses for his bad behavior, and I tried to, like, voice my concerns with our relationship, such as, like, him not trying as much as he did at one point in time, and just, like, honestly just being lazy with everything. And he's not a lazy person in general. Like, he's very hardworking with work, and he's good to his, like, family and whatever. But then every time I'd say these things concerning our relationship, he would just take it as a general, like, drag at his personality. For example, like, if I'm like, you're being lazy with us, he's like, I'm not a lazy person. Like, he would just, like, go at me, like, very aggressively. And I'm like, I don't think you're lazy, but you're taking it so personal, and I do love you. Like, we were dating for a year, and it's just like, I'm not here to shit on you. I'm clearly here because I care, but I don't know why you take it so negatively. But anyways, like, we ended up breaking up, and, like, the people around me, like, they keep seeing that I see the good too much, and, like, I'm not focusing on the bad things, but I do think, like, deep down, like, he does love me, like, so much. But I feel the same way, but I realize, like, he is a narcissist, so I was wondering if that was
I have my
something.
doubts. I have my doubts. He's even a narcissist. I have my doubts. I think you just heard some social
Really?
media talking points and slapped a label on them. People who really date
Well, no,
narcissists are
like
like,
we were fighting like a lot, like past the 6 months mark, like to the year, and like he just never let me like have like feelings. Like every time I was sad, it was like he's more sad about something else. You know what I mean? Like I could never just be like angry, sad, or like upset about anything because like he had to take like the I don't know, he had to be the bigger problem. And he like ruined like so many big things for me, like for like my birthday. He just made it all about him, and like it's all these weird things. And now that we've broken up, even my like my feed just talks about like what it's like to break up with a narcissist, and like what's like dating a narcissist, and it's all qualities that like he fell under, which is like a new understanding. Like I didn't like say these things during our breakup or anything, but
okay, so I still have my doubts, but because people who date narcissists go through hell and they don't want the person back. My just you me hearing you say that you want the person back gives me doubts that you were with a real narcissist.
um it was really bad. Like the fights were, I was probably like more sad than I was happy towards the end. But I look back and I'm like, it was so good at one point in time, and it just makes me question everything. You know?
Yeah, you got work to do yourself, love. Because it's like the good at one time was probably the beginning when the mask was being worn, so it wasn't real. The fights were real.
Yeah. I mean, uh, it, even with, oh, I don't know. I just think he sees everybody else in his life as very transactional. For example, with his friends, it's like he would just put more care into people that like I don't know had a better job, had like came from more money, and like I kind of noticed that, and like I kind of clocked him on it. I'm like, what happened to this person that you were like so close with? Like what? Like why don't you spend time with them? Like after I don't know, and it just like and then I started feeling like he was using me because when
What's your question here, love? Because you keep giving me a list of like his bad qualities,
well
and it's
I
all the
just
more
don't
reason
understand if
why
this
are
is
we trying to
like
get back with him? Why are we even thinking about getting back with him, or even wanting to? Every time you respond,
well
there's a new bad quality you're listing out. You haven't said anything positive
the
about
thing
this
is,
man
it
yet.
was like my first relationship, so I don't know if these are just like problems that you're gonna deal with everybody, kind of like you just because again, like we're all young, we're all like living this life
No,
for the first
no,
time.
you
Like I
can't.
don't know.
You're contradicting yourself. You're saying first he's a narcissist. Now you're saying does everyone deal with this? No, not everybody's a narcissist.
Yeah, I don't know. He just pushed so many insecurities onto me whenever I brought a problem up. He'd be like, "No, that's your problem," and then
You see what we're doing now? Yeah, here's another bad quality. Again, I'm asking what is the question here? Because you're just listing out, you're basically complaining to me about how bad your ex was. And I'm confused as to what is the end goal here. Like,
well, I'm just confused if it's like if I'm or if he's that bad, or if it's something about.
is it something you can improve?
Something like we can improve,
No,
yeah.
it's not.
No.
That's why I
Okay.
answered the question at the very beginning of this call. If he's actually a narcissist, no, you cannot improve that. It is a personality disorder.
Okay.
That's like someone
Okay,
being like,
thank
oh,
you.
my ex is diabetic. Can I improve it? It's like, no, he's going to remain a diabetic.
Okay.
Okay? All right, love. Best of luck. All right, Marty, what's going on? Marty, are you there? Because you're muted. Going once. Going twice. I still don't think Buddy was a narcissist. I've never heard someone who really dated a narcissist who was like, you know what? I want some more of that. I want a little bit more of that. Hurt me good. Um, Now you, are you there? Because you're muted. I saw this psychologist basically saying that like the vast majority of people claiming that they've dated narcissists haven't really dated narcissists. Because she was like, if you had, the last thing you would do would be on the internet talking about it because of how bad that experience is. You will probably be too traumatized and be like, all right, will he see me leave this comment? Will he see this video and then come after me again? Right? So, like, considering that you're not thinking that way means you did not really date one for real. All right, what's going on?
Yo, what's up? I'm good. How you doing?
Good, good. What can I do for you?
Good. I've been with this. She's my ex now because we've been on and off for 10 years, and the last 1 year we've been together. She got married from 2 other guys, and she got divorced. So I was the third guy. I was always feeling down, constant disrespect, and her moods kind of swings anytime. And the intimacy was not there when I needed. She always like gaslighting, and anything I do is like to a point where it reached I lost my sleep for like a month. If I sleep around 11 p.m., I have to wake up around 2. I cannot go back to sleep, always thinking, overthinking. And finally, I saw a physician. I went to a hospital, and then the doctor just said, hey, I described the relationship that I was going through. And luckily, the physician just told me, your well-being is important, because I was going down. I couldn't focus. I was doing 3 jobs a week, and I was going down like very like I was going through hell. So one thing that the doctor just told me is like, your well-being is important than pleasing someone. And that lady was new to the country by then. I've stood for her, did her everything possibly a man could do for her. And she finally I don't know what's up. Sorry, I just blocked somebody else's driveway. I was driving. I just pulled over.
Okay.
So, okay now. So, when the doctor just told me, like, your well-being is important, go to the gym, cut off this person, block her, and this always constant drama. So, I've just blocked her everywhere. She was living with her roommate, so I just lost the contact. She used to come to my job, and then 3 months, anytime anything I do is like, she wrongs me, I have to say sorry, because if I couldn't say, the reaction I give, it's what matters to her. She doesn't seem to be caring. No day she will ever tell me, I'm sorry for what I did. And but she will always tell me, hey, why you so mad at this? I was never thinking you will be like this, blah, blah, blah. So that just took me to another level. But 3 months after, 6 months, when there was no contact, I went silent, no contact. And then she went to my uncle, and then she just begged for said she wants to come back and be she want to change. She's not going to do anything, she's not going to disrespect me, and no drama after all.
All right, so real quick.
I just say,
real quick. Do you have a question? Do you have a question here?
Say that again.
Do you have a question?
Yeah, she wants to. Yeah, she wants me to be back to her now, but I've moved on for now 8 months now, and I think I don't need anyone. because there was no good vibes when I was dating her, but now that she's coming to my job, shows up, like she comes to my driveway because I blocked her everywhere. I cannot even, she cannot text me, she cannot call me. All the social media platforms I blocked. So, but she's trying to tell my uncle like she wants to change, like she's gonna change for her better. I'm like, no way, this lady. And I've gone through your podcast. I've watched it all the time when I have time, and I'm like, I I just need a guidance.
Guidance on what? Like, what's your question?
Like she's saying she's gonna change. So
Nope. Nope.
okay,
Nope. She's not going to.
okay, I believe you. Thank you.
No problem, brother. You take care.
Peace.
All right, CC.
Hello. Good evening. Came to try to reset the room, hopefully. Okay. I see we have lots of shares and reposts, so thank you guys. Y'all know the drill. That's much appreciated. Don't forget though, you gotta tap that screen and also get your daily heartbeat. That's that orange heart up at the top. Don't forget, if you have a private account, only Coach can let you up, so you may be waiting in the queue a little bit longer. So if you want to go ahead and make your page public, the mods, we got plenty in here tonight, so we will let you guys up right away when you send in that request. He is also streaming on YouTube, so if it's your first time in or you're joining us late, don't forget to touch that link in the bio. That's going to take you straight to the YouTube channel. You can subscribe and watch any of the past lives that are streaming there, and then give it a thumbs up. He's also trying to build up that platform, so continue to show your support. Don't forget, try not to vent so much, and come up prepared with your question, or if you've been sitting in the comments, it's your first time in, read the room. Question first, context afterwards. He's going to ask you more questions. Do not focus on the chat. We're just in here doing us, okay? Don't forget, he is a coach for men, but he's allowing the women to come up in this space. But men, we want to hear from you. We do not want to take up this space all the time. So please request, come get your answers. And okay, that's all I can think of. Okay. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate you, CC. All right, Monique.
Hi. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry because I'm a woman. So you just said that you wanted men
No,
up
no,
here,
everyone's welcome. You're good. You're good, love. No apology necessary. What's going on?
Yes, but good evening. So I've seen your live a couple times come up, so this is my first time, so just bear with me.
Okay.
And you said to start with my question first.
Yes.
Essentially, I guess, what's your opinion on like giving second chances?
Okay.
And then just to give you a little bit of context, I went on 2 dates with this guy a couple months ago, tail end of last year. And they were great, very good dates, intentional dates. And it felt just very meaningful because our first date, he actually attended a donation drive with me for Jamaica because my family's Jamaican, and you know, we went and bought donations and then like had lunch. It was really cute. But our connection got a little derailed because he alluded to him going through a fraternity process. Mind you, we're grown adults, and he's pledging for a post-grad chapter, so that happened. And I essentially had thought that I was ghosted. The connection was great in the beginning, and then I just started noticing that the communication started to die down. Whereas in the beginning, he was saying I'm very intentional, purposeful, like I'm a lover boy, X, Y, and Z. I know how to court a woman. And then the communication just damn near stopped. This past Monday, he calls me to invite me to his probate, which is tomorrow. So on the phone call that we had on Monday, he mentioned, I didn't forget about all the dates that I said that I wanted to take you on, blah, blah, blah. But, I'm listening to him and I'm kind of just like, okay, you're telling me this, but what's the action going to be now that you are, what you are? So I am gonna go to the probate tomorrow just to support, but I'm just like, okay, what signs should I be looking for after this? And is it even worth giving the second chance? Because really, over these last like couple of months, I've just been focused on myself, you know. So
What are
yeah,
you giving him
I
a
don't
second
know.
chance for? Because he kind of like went silent on you.
Yeah,
He went
it's
silent.
like I guess I have an issue with the exit of it all. Like I guess it could have been communicated a bit more clearly about like where his capacity was at,
Right.
as opposed to just completely like fading into the back. Yes, he disappeared because he was online. Yes, that I keep seeing that question come up.
So he disappeared because he was actively like pledging for the fraternity.
Yes.
Okay, and
Yes.
how long did he disappear?
I want to say mid-January to about just this past Monday.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I know they're not supposed to tell people, right?
Well, he invited. Yeah, you're not supposed to tell people that they're going through the process, but we had a FaceTime call back in January where he was showing me some sort of matrix calendar he had for the year. And I saw the date of the fraternity that he's pledging for at the top of the calendar. So I was just like, oh, okay, this is what's going on.
Oh,
So yeah.
so you knew it before he told you?
I knew it. I knew it. I saw that date and I knew exactly what was going on. He just didn't verbally say it because they have to have discretion.
Okay.
And
So
all that.
so when he went ghost, did you not, because you knew about him pledging, did you not like make that connection?
No, I made the connection, but I also am not chasing a man because I was just like, okay, if you're gonna go dark, I'm not about to, blow up your phone, all that. I'm gonna just kind of leave you where you be. That's just the kind of woman I am. I meet people where they're at.
Okay. How?
And I just feel like it's kind of like unfinished business because I did like him.
Right.
I did.
Right. Okay.
But now.
How did y'all meet again?
We actually met at a mutual friend's birthday party.
Okay.
And we like hit it off that night. I had literally mentioned, I'm going to a donation drive tomorrow. And then he was like, oh, let me come with you. And, he helped me shop for the stuff and took me out to lunch. And, it was great.
Okay. So when he came back, what was his messaging like?
That essentially now he has more capacity. His funds are a bit more free and his time is a bit more free. And there were dates that he mentioned before going ghost that he said he didn't forget about and would like to act on. But it's like, okay, I told him straight up, I'm only paying attention to your follow through now. Like, you're telling me these things, but
Was there
was
any apology?
There was no apology. There was no direct apology, so
How long did y'all date before he went ghost?
This was November of last year, and then like kind of both of our schedules got really crazy because he went back home for the holidays and everything, like in December. So we had the 2 dates, and then we had like a parked car conversation because we're both very busy people. I work a couple jobs. He does his thing, and then like that was kind of it. And then, we were phone calling, texting and all that. And then January was kind of where things were like, bloop, where he, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's very ambitious, like he owns a home.
I will say that the lack of apology is a red flag, right? I would say that. Now, I always also say that you got to have the discernment as to when to give grace. Okay.
Right.
He has fantastic plausible deniability in this situation, right? That's why I almost say that the lack of apology is more of a red flag than him going ghost in the first place.
That's true.
Because then it would at least you know that he's aware. He's self-aware. He knows there was a problem there, right? He takes accountability. So that's the main red flag here. If y'all really did have a connection, I would say it's worth revisiting. But if more start to surface, get out of there.
Okay.
If more starts to surface, get out of there. If he's not extra communicative, if he goes ghost for another reason, and then claims to be busy, I would get out of there. So like this was strike one. I would look at it like that. This was strike one and strike two.
Yeah.
I would look at it like that. So, but he does seem decent. He does seem like based on what you're telling me, he does seem like he does have some intentions, but he may have gotten tunnel vision with this specific situation. And with some ambitious men, that's.
I know that's something you're gonna have to deal with, kind of, because he literally told me, he was like, I needed laser focus for this process, and he said it wasn't even a matter of him like even talking to somebody else or anything, because he said that person would have been in the same predicament. So,
Right. So yeah, I would say go ahead, because you sound like you want to anyway. So go ahead and give him a second chance, right? So just go ahead and do it, and then follow up with us in a month or so once you get a bit more clarity. Okay.
Okay. Will do. I appreciate your advice, sir. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, Monique. You take care.
You too.
All right. Bye. All right. Nijay?
Hi, yeah. How are you doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. I just had a quick question because I've been going through something with this guy, but I just need some clarity and understanding. So I'm gonna give you some context.
Okay.
I've been talking to this guy for 5 months in October, since last year October, and things were going great. We went on dates. We were really intentional on our dates. The whole goal was to, form a relationship, leading to like marriage or things of that sort.
Right.
We got that understanding through our dates and stuff. But like I said, everything was going great. Then December, he ghosted me out of the blue, like out of nowhere. Did not hear from him from a week. So, I didn't text him back or try to chase him. I just kind of deleted him from off of my social medias because I had him on various platforms like Snapchat, Facebook, and I, did that. I deleted his number, but I didn't block his number. Eventually, he ended up like texting me back, and he wanted me to he was asking to talk.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want to give in. I was kind of a little stubborn, but I'm a type of person, like, I really want to know why. I just need to, it helps my brain, just calm things. So eventually we talked. He ended up inviting me over to his, he told me the reason why he went ghost. He said that he was forming these feelings, just didn't know how to go about it, and just ghosted me from out of the blue, was inconsiderate, and he wouldn't do it again. Like, he was really, I could feel like he was really genuine, right? It was a really genuine moment, and, I didn't think he was lying. So, I gave it a pass. And then we just went on to continue working on our relationship again. Everything's good. Everything's great. Another context, I'm Christian, he's Muslim, right? So as you guys know, Ramadan was around the corner. So before Ramadan, he told me that he needed space from me, just to focus and pray, and I was supportive of that, and I was prepared for it. And we were talking and communicating, but 2 weeks ago, I just felt like the communication was mostly heavy on my part, on my end. But at the same time, this is a person that, I really care about, and we're forming a strong bond. So, I just try to get out of my head a little bit. I'm like, well, I care about him. I just want to know how his day's going, and whatever. It doesn't really matter. So I try to push past the thought. So 2 weeks ago, last Thursday, we were texting, and he told me hey, I really miss your face. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm down for a quick FaceTime. And when I said that, he started giving me excuses, like he was cooking and he's gonna be up late. I'm like, hey, I'm not really chasing, I'm not really bothering you. Just call me or FaceTime me whenever you're ready. I woke up the next morning. There was no text, no call, no nothing. dude just went silent on me, right? And I don't know, like, I don't know how what to really say, because it frustrated me, because I mean, he's always texting, we're always communicating, we're always talking. So for him just to go silent on me again, I just got frustrated. So I never followed up. I never texted. I never called back. He was posting on social media. I saw that. And so I gave it a week. I'm like, probably he'll reach out, and probably he needs some space, whatever. And he never, texted me, called, nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. So I just took the decision. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and, for my sanity, just go ahead and just block him, and then block his number, because I really don't want to be going back and forth. So my main question here is, like, why is that? Like, I never felt like he was playing me. I really felt like we had really good chemistry and a good connection and things of that sort. But, like, why all of a sudden just go silent on me? And I've been puzzled, man. I've really been puzzled. Like, I just want to understand.
How long did y'all date before he ghosted you the first time?
The first time, it was just like, we started talking in October. So yeah, October, November, and then he ghosted me in December. So, like, when he told me that he was having all these feelings when we talked, I gave it a pass, because I was understanding. Like, I'm like, okay, I can understand. And, probably guys, I don't know how guys really, like, express themselves. I really don't know. But, like, yeah. So it was like a month or two before he ghosted me the first time.
Okay. Either he has something else going on, like another relationship, dating other people, or he has some degree of avoidant attachment. Right? So if y'all were establishing a very good connection before he ghosted you the first time, it may have been true that he ghosted because the feelings that he had, when things start to get serious and feel serious, avoidant people tend to run, right? So that's the thing. They like to create space as well. They don't like to feel cornered, or that you need them, or that there's an expectation. They kind of like to do what they want to do. So, but I'm not entirely certain that it's avoidant, because y'all didn't date for that long before he ghosted. How old are you two?
Well, he's a bit older than me. He's 29 and I'm 24, so I'm pretty on the younger side, but still, like, yeah. So I just decided not to, like, when he ghosted me the second time, I said, I didn't reach out, because I feel like he's too grown. He's a grown man, and a grown man should know what they want. And so if I shouldn't have to fight for my place in someone's life. Like, I understand that.
Right.
But I just wanted to, like, it's just been puzzling me, like, why a person would, like, spend time with you and get to know you, you open up to them, and, you've grown an attachment to them, and then all of a sudden they just, leave you and go silent. I mean, ghosting is like, I've dealt with ghosting before, but not to this degree where I had someone invested in me. You understand? So, yeah, that was just mainly my question, but yeah, that was it.
Yeah, you got to also just, have some more self-respect for yourself. Don't put yourself in situations where people can do you dirty more than once, right? 2, be okay with not knowing the answer, right? Because even what I just gave you was just a educated guess. There's no certainty that what I told you was 100% accurate. I don't have enough data, but so you still don't really know for sure the answer to the question. But trying to figure it out prevents you from moving on. So just
Yeah.
what you should focus on is not why did they do that. I always say focus on the what, not the why. Instead of focusing on why they're doing what they're doing, focus on what they're doing. Okay. If what they're doing is
Yeah.
not in alignment with what you need, then you have to exit. So what
Yeah,
he was
for
doing
sure.
was ghosting you. Well, you can't be in a relationship with someone who ghosts you, right? So then you must exit stage left. There's no need to be like, well, why did you ghost? What happened in your childhood to make you ghost me? Right? That's a waste of time. Right? It's just even if you got an answer, it doesn't change the situation. You still can't be with someone who's ghosting you, right?
Yeah, it was. I wasn't gonna go back to him or anything like that. I feel like I made my decision already. Like it is what it is. But yeah, I just wanted to understand probably from another guy's perspective
Mm-hmm.
why that was. But yeah, I really do appreciate your time. Thank you.
No problem, love. Best of luck to you, all right?
Yep.
Okay, who we got next? Latoya.
Hi, Coach.
Hey, how are you?
Good. So my question is, so I'm disorganized, attached,
Okay.
and I have a tendency to attract anxiously attached people, and so I'm trying to move towards secure attachment. But lately, the thing is, I have friends that they get upset because I don't want to be on the phone. It's like mentally draining to me to like just the thought of having to be on the phone for so long because I already know what it's going to lead to. Like they look to me for advice, guidance, things like that. And like they have kind of pulled away, and it's only because I don't reach out. But it might sound bad. I'm okay with it. But I also miss the friendship that we had, like the conversation. But I guess I want to move towards or learn how to give them their time and also not abandon me.
Wait, so is this about dating or is this about your friendships?
Friendships, dating, I attract anxious people. Dating and friendships.
Okay. All right. So your friends reach out to you and the dynamic that you have is you're like providing them with sage advice, right? You're their advisor.
I'm a Christian, so that more context. So
Okay.
they do have they draw to me for that type of I'm not like I'm trying to like be a pastor or anything like that, but it's just they just gravitate towards me and want to.
They're probably not even coming to you for advice. They're probably coming to you because you make them feel better. This
Okay.
organized attached people have a pronounced ability to attune
Mm-hmm.
and pick up on people's like energy and vibe
Yeah.
and kind of give them what they need, right? They often make some of the best partners once they heal for that reason. So if they're coming to you for advice a lot, that means A, they're not taking the advice because they keep coming back. But B, more importantly, is because that you make them feel good on the call. So they're using you to regulate. And the problem that you're running into, you said, is that you don't want to just spend that amount of time on the phone. So are you like turning them down every time they call?
No, I don't turn them down at all. That's the thing. I spend hours on
Okay.
the phone,
Okay.
but
So
it's
it's just
it
draining
gets to
for
a
you.
point where it's like constant, and I
Gotcha.
get drained.
Got you. Okay. I mean, you can set boundaries, love. You can set boundaries and let them know that, they can't just keep coming to you for that. Or you can just set boundaries, internal boundaries for yourself, where it's like, if they call, I'll talk to them later. Or if I get on the call with them, I get off within 30 minutes. Right?
Yeah, I
However,
mean,
however you want to do
I
it.
guess the thing, I have this thing where I feel like I'm a bad person if I do that. I know it's not true,
Mhm.
but just to even set that boundary, it's like I'm betraying them almost.
No, well, so you're betraying yourself in the process, though,
It's true, very true.
right? So you can't pour from an empty cup.
You're right. You're right.
So you have to look at it from like switch the way you're thinking about it. You're more helpful to them if you get what you need. So you getting what you need paradoxically helps them more. You setting boundaries with them and telling them no actually helps them more. So you're doing a disservice to them by sacrificing yourself to talk to them every time they reach out to you. Look at it that way. You're hurting them by doing that. So if you want to actually help them, if you're going to take this sacrificial role, you help them more if you actually set boundaries.
Okay.
Right? When Jesus, like, even if people needed him, he would go and isolate himself and pray.
Right.
He always set that time to be with the Father, right? And he would come back energized. All right, let's do these miracles now, right? So that's how you would approach it. Now, in terms of romantically, disorganized attachment is the most complicated attachment style. There's more variance with disorganized than any other attachment style, right? Meaning you can get a couple of avoidants together and they may act in a similar way. You can get anxious people together, they may act in a similar way. Disorganized people are all over the place. So it's a complicated one. And it typically would require for you to reach out to some sort of third party and get a trauma-based therapist or do EMDR, something like that, because it's a trauma-based attachment style. You know, people who are disorganized typically come from a household where one of their caregivers or both was both the source of love and pain. So then they learn the lesson that they both want connection but simultaneously fear, right? So that's hard to overcome because it creates inner chaos, you're at war with yourself internally, right? So it's a lot to take on yourself. So that is why I would suggest like getting some sort of third party assistance to kind of help with that, so they can help you like integrate those traumas a bit better, and in doing so you'll be more equipped to enter into a romantic relationship. And then the thing that is currently a liability will become an asset, because that whole ability to attune right now, you don't really control it, but when you heal, it's going to be the thing that makes part of the reason why you will be so valuable and so desired, because that attunement is rare in a world full of people who have more narcissistic tendencies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem, love. Keep me posted on how it goes, all right?
Okay, I will.
All right. Bye. We got Ebony. What's going on, Ebony?
Hey, good night, y'all. Hey, okay. Well, I have a question.
Okay.
I want to start being honest,
Okay.
but I am afraid that it's not going to work in my favor most of the time.
Okay.
So, after several events of guys I've had been seeing, all saying the same thing about me, it's like I don't know how to be honest in my approach of dating. Like, how can I tell a man, how does this sound? How can I tell a man, like, I'm interested in you, but if I see somebody else that catch my eye, I'm going to want to explore that too?
Well, you can't. Not if you, not if you want something serious with them.
It's like I feel like I want something serious, but I'm going to be honest. I came to the conclusion that I have a wandering eye. Right now, I'm 29. I've been in relationships all my 20s since I turned 15. And right now, like, I do have a wandering eye, but I feel like I've been losing guys that I do like, because if a guy I'm attractive want my number, I'm going to explore that opportunity. And men feel like if they're investing time, money, and effort, they want to take themselves out the equation, and I don't like that. So it's like, yes, I lie, but it's like I just want to tell the truth to avoid drama, and I don't know how to put it in words without sounding like bad, like without sounding like bad.
No, I think you're thinking about this the wrong way. You just shouldn't date guys. You just shouldn't date men who want relationships, because you don't want a relationship. You can't want a relationship and then simultaneously say, oh, if somebody I'm attracted to gives me their number or asks for my number, I'm going to take it. Those are directly opposed to one another, right? No man is going to trust you like that. You have to understand. I had this conversation the other day, right, where I was saying the fears that men and women have when it comes to dating. They're different, but they're similar, right? The fear that women have is, if I open myself up to you physically and emotionally, will you commit? And the fear that men have is, if I commit, will you stay? Now, the fear that men have is bigger. Why is it bigger? Because when men love you and really commit to you, psychologically, that's my woman, right? They enter this space where it's like they're responsible for you now. Almost like you're their child, damn near. They will die for you at that point, right? So you're telling a man who knows that. He knows. That's why men are so skittish with commitment, because of what it entails, right? Women don't think about it like that because y'all don't, it's not as heavy for y'all, right? For us, it's different. Even if we break up with you, it's hard to detach ourselves from that orientation. I was thinking about this the other day. I would probably still die for my ex right now. Don't want her back at all, but I probably would still die for her. It's hard to psychologically disconnect yourself from that. So you're basically saying, not will you be my boyfriend? You're saying, will you die for me? Right? And we're like, do I want to sign up for this? Right? Even us falling in love is like it's almost a negative experience, because it's like, fuck, now I care. And now this person is important to me. So you're basically saying like, hey, I want you to die for me. But if another guy catches my attention, I'm going with him.
Yeah, that is true, because I realize I want all of the treatment like I'm your girl, but I want to accept that treatment from that man too.
Yeah, so that's just not a realistic expectation. You're in fantasy land right now.
That's why I be lying.
Mm-hmm. I mean, lying. The cost you pay with lying is like your own. You just feel guilty, right? You feel shitty because lying doesn't make you feel good.
I'm starting to feel like it's starting to get dangerous.
Like,
because now they're popping up. They're following me, and it's like,
that's why I said that lying is not your best. Your best bet is just to deal with people casually if this is how you're going to move. Don't deal with people who want a relationship. Don't even give them the impression that you want one. Just
okay,
don't do
so it. Now look, the guy I was talking to, the trainer at my gym, we the same age, very attractive. All the girls in the gym want him. Now, I was coming at this casual, and the more we spent time, his feelings got more and more and more. Now, granted, I told him, like, hey, I'm still processing everything. I told him one time we was laying down, I was like, I don't want to ruin our friendship. And that kind of threw him off. And he was turned off when I said that. And then, okay, so when I was like, oh, you don't want to just be friends? He was like, no. I was like, oh, yeah, oh, me either. That's why I was just saying.
My gut tells me that you're coming on too strong. The example that I'm going back to in my head is when you were talking about the guy who was going to fly you out, and you were telling me what you were saying to him. He was like, I can't wait to see you, baby. Stop that shit. You're probably talking to them like that.
That's just the act. Like, that's just what I do. Like, I'm not going to lie.
That's what I'm saying.
That was just the fantasy of that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If you're doing that with other people, and maybe you're not, but if you're talking like that with other people, you got to stop that.
No. With him, it was just, phone call, just like it. He's sending stuff. So, keeping it going. But with the guy, the trainer guy, he was the one doing all the baby. I rarely called him bae and all that. And when I went on a date with another guy and I had to stop texting because I'm on a date, and he seen I posted flowers, he felt some type of way, and then he pulled back his energy. I'm like this supposed to be like casual, and like the two guys that I did try to be casual with, it's like they don't want me around other men. I'm like, okay, I just don't know. Casual not working out for me.
I still think that you may not be calling them baby, but it's still your energy and how you're interacting with them. The reason why I know that is because you said you've been in relationships all your 20s. So you've
Oh, I'm
been in
getting it now.
relationships a lot in a world where a lot of women have a hard time getting any commitment. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're getting in relationships a lot, then that means that your vibe is just one where men want to commit to it.
Yes, they keep wanting me to be their girlfriend.
Yeah. Even the way you just said that was like attractive for some reason. So I can understand why they want to commit to you in some degree. But that's the thing though. Like you're in a tough spot because your aura kind of creates this vibe where they probably feel Knuckles agreed. Zeke agreed. All the guys, they like that. We're gonna have to get you to say that again and record it. But yeah, the vibe that you're giving off, even though I haven't experienced, I can just tell that is alluring to them.
I just let them lead and just do them. Like
Yeah.
I let them be,
You're
and
not giving them a hard time, you're creating peace, and if you're laying it down in the bedroom, then forget about it. That's going to it's going to seal the deal. And it's like it's unfortunate, but that's just what the situation is. So it might be hard for you to avoid this situation. So one, you just got to be smarter. So I wouldn't post any flowers because you're not really benefiting from posting any flowers, right? You're just creating chaos for yourself.
hmm
Um,
I think it's all them femininity videos I be watching and stuff.
yeah,
I don't know what it be, but it's like I know that it's like once they think I'm somebody and then they realize I'm playing these type of games and it's like I just hate the cuss out part, the disrespect. I don't like. I know it's wrong to play with people's feelings, um, but I feel like if I be honest, you're gonna leave.
yeah, you're true. That's very true. Somebody mentioned like try poly out, like the poly
Oh
community.
no, I'm too selfish for that. I got a big ego.
See, you're at your expectations are off. So you don't want the man to do anyone else either.
No, they could deal like um they could deal with people. I just want to be the top priority.
Why is that?
Cause it's an ego thing like that, which I'm trying to like get rid of that.
Yeah,
It's like I always been first. I never been a side. I always been main. So it's like I can't.
yeah, you can't have it both ways.
No.
Because I
And
mean,
and remember the guy who got the girlfriend? Yes, he did end up taking me to grab lunch Tuesday.
what guy with a girlfriend?
The guy that I'm cool with, he got a girlfriend, and I said that she's in the army and they like long distance.
Okay.
And I was like, he supposed to be buying me a smoothie.
Oh,
Everybody said she still gonna get that smoothie. I still went and got the smoothie.
hey, you playing with your life right now, man. Shorty in the art, she got a scope on you right now. You better
But
chill out.
you know what I said? I said, you know what I said? I'm gonna like I have to like distance myself because he told me like his woman being in the army, like she's more got like a more masculine, more masculine, take charge energy.
Right.
And then like he's like, he being around me and he always saying like, oh, you're so feminine, like he be helping me with my weights and stuff. And I'm like, okay, Ebony, he's missing that and you can't be that. So it's like I'm gonna stay away. I got the smoothie, y'all, but I'm gonna stay away.
That's what you say. Listen, you fighting. Appreciate you, Lana. You're fighting you're in a dangerous situation, love.
Yeah, but I just came on tonight because I was talking to a guy and he was like, Ebony, like, what you want to do? Like, I'm not trying to be played. And, like, and I'm just kind of tired of having these conversations with people. And then it's just like, I thought everybody's saying everybody's looking for casual, but it's like, I'm not finding casual. So,
Um, yeah. I mean, you're not finding casual because people. That's what I was trying to tell a woman the other day on the call. Even the fuck boys commit to somebody, right? If you move in a certain way and you check certain boxes, even someone who moves in like a player fashion would still commit to you sometimes. So that's just what you're experiencing. It's funny how like people think the grass is greener. There's probably some women who are very mad listening to this story right now, just not just because of the last bit of information you gave about the girlfriend, but also because how are you able to find this people to commit and I can't? Right? It's like that's just what it is. Some people just have that energy and that vibe. You said that you watch a lot of femininity videos, so obviously it's something that you've worked on as well. But I'm of a mind where it's like, if honestly, if I were you and you were really committed to this path, I would do long distance.
Long distance, that's not even gonna work for me either. I like to see
you hard
and touch
you hard to please. You're hard to please. Long distance would easily solve this problem.
Somebody says she's giving all her cookies. Why people think that dating you're giving up your body?
That's not the case.
You know, some people be thinking because people dating. But I feel like what I realize about a lot of men too, when you don't want a relationship, they want it really bad.
That's also true.
Yeah.
Because it's like they can't have it, especially if you're talking about guys who are used to women trying to lock them down.
Oh yeah, that's what these type of guys are.
Yeah. They're not used to it.
Oh my God. And I'm not giving up. I'm not giving it up fast. You know, I'm not blowing up the phone. I'm not demanding when it come to time. Like, I just be chilling.
Right. Well, I hope you let me know what you come up with.
Oh, somebody said I change my mind every week because it's like, yeah, all right, I'll be back, y'all.
Yeah, come
next
back.
week or something.
Let me know your update. If I don't see you in a week, I'm assuming that military girl got you tied up in the basement somewhere.
No,
So
I'm
definitely
that guy. No, I'm no.
okay.
I got my
Well,
smoothie.
definitely check in and let me know that you're safe. All right.
All right. Good night.
All right, love. Take care. All right. All the guys in the chat, y'all DMing Ebony now? Y'all trying to make your way down to Florida? Ebony pressure now. Go to her page real quick. She's definitely pressure. Lana, what's going on?
Hello.
Hold on 1 second, Melanie.
Can you hear me?
Melanie, hold on 1 second. I got one in front of you. Lana, what's going on?
Hi, Coach. Can you hear me?
Yes. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. What can I do for you?
Don't even know where to start. I hear a lot of music. In the
Melanie,
background.
can you?
I'm not sure.
Melanie, can you mute yourself, please? I don't know why we can't, like, some people come up, we can't mute them. Have y'all experienced that, mods? Anyway, what's going on, Lana?
Okay. I don't even know where to start. I have been retired out of the military. I was in the Air Force for 20 years, moved down to Houston. Of course, I have my own house and everything going on. But I just don't understand why I'm not meeting the person that I should be meeting. It's just been like if I'm being honest, and I don't care what the chat says, it's just a very lonely feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Not something that I'm used to, you know, having friends in the military, and now I'm here without anyone here. So I've met guys, and the guys that I'm meeting, they're just not measuring up to what I need them to be. So I had a guy that proposed to me before, but when he was living with me, he moved into my house, and I was paying all of the bills, and it just, I don't know, it just rubbed me the wrong way to where I had to let him go.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, or I don't know if I should be more accepting.
You said something very
because
key.
they don't have what I have, and so I don't know.
You
I'm
said
confused.
you said something telling. You said you're not meeting the men you should be meeting. What's that about? Who do you feel like you should be meeting?
Thank you for asking that. So my thing is like I work from home. So not only do I not know anyone here, I work from home, I work remote. And so I don't have that opportunity to get out and meet anyone.
Yeah, but you didn't. That's not how you phrase it. You phrase it as almost like it was qualitative, right? You're not meeting the type of people that you should be meeting, meaning that there's. Appreciate you, Danny. Like there's some kind of quality of man you should be meeting. So that word "should," I'm double clicking on that for a reason. Who do you feel like
Yes.
you should be meeting?
So before I moved here, I knew a guy before I moved here, but then when I got here, he wasn't who I thought he was, basically. So I had to let it go, and now I'm by myself, if that makes sense.
Okay, it's not really answering my question. What type of man are you looking for?
Someone that is a helpmate because, like I said, the other guy that I was dating, I had to pay all the bills, and he couldn't understand why I was so angry about that because I just felt like I was doing everything by myself.
Okay, you said a helpmate. So what does that entail specifically?
It entails just helping me as far as like, don't make me feel like I have to do all this by myself, and then I have to cook for you, I have to take care of you, I have to do all these things,
So
and then you're
these
not doing
men
anything for me.
these men. So I get in that situation. That makes sense why you would leave that. But
Mhm.
you said that you dated other men and they weren't doing it for you. So what were they lacking? Because I'm assuming the men you dated weren't just all hobosexuals trying to just move in with you.
No, that was the only person.
Okay.
Remember, I told you I retired from the Air Force, and so I moved down here. That was the only person that I dated.
Okay, so you just dated that one person. I thought you said that you dated other people and they were like just not doing it for you. So you were just referring to that one guy. Okay. How did you meet him?
I met him before I got down here.
Gotcha. Okay. So I mean your real problem is you're not being social. You have a social problem. You said that you
And that's the thing. That's what I was telling you. I work remote, and I just saw my sister in here. And hey, sis, I see you. But I moved down here, and I don't know anyone here.
yeah, so you have a social problem. You don't have a dating problem. You have a
But
social problem.
I work remote. I don't know anyone here.
Yeah,
So
that's why you have to
how
go
am I
you have to
supposed
go
to be
meet people.
social if I don't know anyone here?
You have to meet people. Right?
How?
You gotta talk to people. I always tell people to go to static environments, right? Work is a static environment. That's why you're using the word work so much because your experience has been I go to a job and then I naturally make friends because I go to the office every day with the same people every day and just naturally you start connecting with them, right? There are other environments that you can choose that can serve that same function where you see the same people every time you go and then you just naturally connect with them, right? If you're someone who's fitness focused, a run club can check that box, right?
Coach, what I'm telling you is I don't go into the office anymore. Ever since COVID happened,
I'm not
at home.
I'm not talking,
working
beloved.
from home.
I'm not. Okay, I think my point was missed. I used work, the environment of work, to describe a
Yes.
type of environment, right? Where you see the same people over and over again, right? You don't have that because you work from home. So you have to find another environment that's like that, right? That's not work, okay? So a run club is a place where you can see the same people every time you go, right? And form connections with those people just like you would if you were going to a physical office to go to work. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
It does.
So you have to, because you don't have a office to go to for work, you have to create that environment for yourself. So that means clubs, hobbies, things where you can plug yourself into a pre-existing community. Even church scratches this itch, right? Because church is an environment you go into and you see the same people over and over and over again. When you see the same people over and over and over again, you can connect with them. You can make friends. You can make romantic connections, right? There is no way you're going to find any kind of romantic connection if you're not connecting with people. You have to go outside and talk to people.
Yeah, and I do. Like my daughter, she's 14, she's running track, and I'll go to her track meets, but I feel like I'm pouring everything into her, but nobody is pouring anything into me, and the thing about it is like I don't have any family because my mom and my dad and my brother, everybody is gone, and so it's just me trying to build myself up and be strong for my daughter, and I just don't know how to get there.
I hear you.
And I guess
But you also hold on one second, love. You also haven't really gave what I just described a try. You've been waiting for it to just fall into place. It's not gonna work. Right? I hear you. Sound like you've had a tough hand given to you. So I empathize. But that's all the more reason why you have to do what I'm describing. Because the situation isn't going to change itself. It's just not. Right? So you just find something and it's not like you're committing your life to it. You just try it out. Right? You just try it out. You say, okay, what's going on in Houston? What kind of clubs are available here? What kind of communities are available? Oh, there's a movie club where they go see a movie every week. Let me try that out. Right? Let's just try it. If you like it, you keep going. And then you just start showing yourself as friendly, talking to people. Let people know I'm new here. You let people know you're new here. Like, I don't have any friends here. Like, you can even just tell them that. Like, I'm trying to meet people. I'm new here to the city. Like, and they'll be more open. Oh, yeah, we can. What's your number? What's your Instagram? What's your number? Right? But you have to put yourself in those situations, though. Right now, you haven't done so because it's probably outside of your comfort zone. You probably never done.
Very much so. It is.
Yeah, but that's
outside
growth.
of my comfort zone, and also like Houston is not the best place. You have to be careful as well. So,
That's fear talking, though. It's uncomfortable. So now we're amplifying how dangerous Houston is. The example I just gave you, like a movie club, is no one's bringing a pew pew into the theater, right? It ain't that dangerous. And you can intentionally put yourself in environments where danger is mitigated, right? I'm not telling you to go out to clubs or anything like that. That's actually the opposite of the advice I just gave you. You join some sort of communities.
Yes.
Okay. So you do that. There's a couple of Google searches. You could probably go on Facebook and find different Facebook groups in Houston that have in-person meetups. There's places, if you go on Facebook, there are groups for people who just moved to a city for them to meet one another. A lot of groups. There was a group like that in Raleigh, North Carolina, where I live, right? That I joined. I never really hung out with those people though, but yeah, there's a couple of things like that. You can do that. I'm sure if Raleigh, North Carolina, as small as it is, has that, there's probably 10 of those in Houston, right? Where there's people just like you, new to the city, looking to meet people. Perfect environment to put yourself in just to start getting some social momentum.
Yeah, I have to do that and stop being so afraid of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying, and I just can't get myself out of it right now. Because I think it has a lot to do with my past. And I see the chat, but y'all don't understand my experiences. When you lose a mom, a dad, a brother, and then all you have left is your child. Like, come on, like.
No, I hear you. I hear you. That's a very challenging thing, but you still have to do it though, right? Because the way you currently are living is making you sad.
It is.
Right?
I'm depressed.
It's making you sad. So we gotta change something. Okay? You can't stay living the way you currently are living, so you gotta change something. And this is what you can change. And there's no downside to changing it. The only downside here is just being uncomfortable for a little while. But then when you meet somebody and they're like warmly welcoming you, Oh, I'm Tiffany. What's your name? Lana. Lana. Oh, I love that dress, girl. Right? Y'all start having that conversation. All that discomfort goes away. Over that one conversation. So you just have to put yourself in the room.
Okay.
That's it. So give that a try. Come back and let me know how it went for you. And we'll talk about it more. All right?
Okay. Thank you.
All right, love. Best of luck to you.
All right. You too.
All right. Kira, what's going on?
Hello, good night. So, I just needed some advice on how to actually date like multiple people to see like which one is the best suitor for me. So, I've been in 3 long-term relationships. It's like when I meet someone, that's the only person. And it turned into years. And then the breakup happens. I'll meet someone else. It turns into years. So I never really knew how to actually date. So I'm single now. So I need advice on once I jump back into the dating scene, how do I not make that mistake again?
How long have you been just like by yourself without entertaining anybody?
Now, maybe a year now.
How old are you?
42.
Okay. So for your entire life, you've been by yourself for like a year, and that's most recently.
Oh no.
Since you've been of age to date, I mean.
Say that again.
Since you've been of age to date. So like since you've been 21.
I've been single for some time, like in between relationships, yes.
Like how long
But
have you
it's-
been single without dealing with anyone?
The longest I've ever been single, I could say maybe 4 years.
Okay. Okay. All right. So your last relationship was a year ago?
Yes, and that relationship lasted 7 years.
7 years. What's your longest relationship?
7
Okay.
years. Well, I was married before.
Okay.
That relationship and marriage lasted about, I would say 8.
Okay.
But that marriage ended in my spouse passing away.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. It's fine.
Okay.
So, and I've met my latest partner a year and a half after that. And then that went for 7 years.
Okay. Why did that end?
Infidelity.
Okay. Okay. So if you were to date multiple men, what do you think that's going to change about your situation?
I mean, not necessarily. Would it be? See, I wouldn't know. Like, not necessarily. Well, yes, dating. Like, I would say me trying to figure out what's best for me, like what I like, what I don't like, aside from just in something with one person, and down the line, I wake up one day like, I don't really like this person.
So what made you get into your previous relationship?
I guess the love bombing, the acts of service that I was getting. I kind of think it's an attachment issue, so to speak.
So you said love bombing. So love bombing is short term. Love bombing doesn't last long term. So how do we go from
Right.
love bombing to being in a relationship for 7 years?
Yeah. So I actually love the person, but it's like down the line, it started turning into me realizing how the person is.
Mm-hmm.
And I like, this person isn't really a good person.
Okay. What year did you realize that?
I'll say year 3.
Okay. And how long did y'all date before y'all got into a relationship?
A year.
So you dated for a year before y'all made things official?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's like after my marriage, I told myself I didn't want to get into another relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And then I met this person and I actually voiced that to them.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like the love bombing started. And if you don't do this, I'm going to pull away. That's why I kind of said it was a attachment issue. So when they was trying to pull away from me, I said, okay, I'm going to do this relationship thing with you. So this relationship that just passed was kind of, what's the word? Regret, resentment.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what about them made you think they're not a good person?
The infidelity.
Okay, you
The
discovered
lies.
you discovered that 3 years in?
Yes.
So what made you stay?
It's like the mask fell off.
Okay, so you were cheated on year 3, but then you didn't leave until year 7. Why did you?
I didn't do the cheating. Oh,
No, I know. I'm
okay.
saying that you were cheated. You got cheated on year 3, but you stayed. So I'm trying to figure out is why did you stay and wait 4 more years before you left?
I stayed because I don't know. I guess it rewired my brain because it went public that their infidelity. I was embarrassed. I think it caused a lot of insecurities. So when I guess that didn't work and they came back, I accepted them back. So
Why do you think you accepted them back?
I think it was insecurity.
Insecure
And the
about
embarrassment and
insecure about what?
the way I felt. Like maybe I wasn't enough. What was it about me that made them go do that?
Okay.
Yeah, so
So did he try to leave you for the other woman?
yes, it did happen.
Okay, so he left you for the other woman. You took him
Yes.
back because you felt like you won because he chose you.
I would say that. I now that you say that, I could admit that because how I found out was the woman called me.
Uh-huh.
That's how I found out it was happening.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. I ask you all these questions not to like unpack your life, but it's oftentimes people come and ask questions. They're not really asking questions that really get to the core of the issue. Core of the issue is self-esteem.
Yeah.
It's not normal to get into like if you're making a real intentional decision, it's hard to find people worthy of being in relationships with.
Yes.
You certainly don't just find one after the other. When you see
Yes.
people finding somebody one after the other, it means they're not being very thoughtful about who they're dealing with.
Okay.
And they're getting with somebody normally out of some other need. Like, I want to feel desired. I don't want to be alone, right? So they lower their standards and expectations, just accept the first person who wants them, right? So if that's the case, you dating multiple men is not solving that issue.
Okay.
It doesn't solve your problem at all.
So what else I thought it could have been why I stayed in this is because that was the first person I met in my new state. So I didn't know anybody here. And I guess it was comfort.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It was comfort, not desire. So again, you were getting with them not because you really wanted to be with that person, but because you didn't want to be alone, probably.
Okay.
So that's what we have to solve for. Not oh, should I just date multiple people now? No, you can still date one person at a time. Just have more clarity around what you want. You don't have to date a whole bunch of people to find out what you want. I don't know where people get that thought from. You don't have to do that. Like, based on who you are right now, what does that person want? I'm sure you have some desires when it comes to being with somebody. Okay. What happens when you date a lot of people is you get new desires. You're not replacing the old one. You're just making it harder to find somebody now because you're finding other things you like, and now you want one guy to give you all the things the other 10 guys gave you, and that guy doesn't exist. And now you're like, well, I'm not going to settle. And it's like, it's not about settling. It's about being grounded in your expectations.
Okay.
Right? So, so what kind of guy do you want? What kind of needs do you have? Like, what are you looking for?
Loyalty. Someone who will actually be a partner and not want more from me than I'm getting from them.
Okay.
Companionship. Okay. But I will say this, for the whole year, I've been, working on myself and understanding me now. So I watch your TikToks all the time, your lives. So I just wanted to come up and see, like, what was I doing wrong? Well, from a male's point of view who I have no connection to. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It's just, it's having, loving yourself a bit more to know what you deserve, right?
Yes.
And then 2, not getting into relationships out of need. Okay. That's what you've been doing so far. You solve both of those problems. Yeah, you can date and you'll probably find yourself being a bit more picky with who you decide to commit to.
Yes.
Because it's like now, like, I don't need a person. I'm comfortable with myself. Now I can date and then choose someone who I actually want to be with, not someone who will just keep me warm at night. Right?
Okay.
And that's it.
Yes. Thank you so much.
No problem, Kira. Best of luck to you, right?
Thank you.
All right.
Alrighty. Bye.
Bye. Okay, Mia.
Hi there. I might be a little young, but I'm 18 years old. And I am getting ready to go to college next fall.
Nice.
And I just wanted your honest perspective about, I am just like a lover girl at heart. I haven't really dated much before, but I do kind of think, I don't want to go and be naive and think that there are going to be boys that, want me for my heart. And I just wanted like an honest male's opinion on, how I can protect my heart during my time there.
Oof. Okay. All right. This is going to be a difficult one. So we're going to college.
I'm ready for the honesty.
You're going to the Lion's Den.
Yes. I'm from a really small town, so it's very new for me, and I just don't want to go in completely ignorant.
Okay. Well, yeah. I would say the main thing is you're looking for congruence. Their words and actions must align. The number one thing that confuses women when they call into this live, whether they're 18 or 88, believe it or not, is, well, he said this. Yeah, but what is he doing? Well, he's doing the complete opposite, but he said, it doesn't matter. Or the opposite. He's doing this, but he says, it's like, well, no, you need congruence. You need words and deed to align. They have to match. If they match, then you're dealing with someone who's authentically expressing themselves and is healthy enough to be committed in a relationship. If they don't align, they're either lying or they're internally fragmented, meaning that they don't even know what they want themselves.
I think I always look like into the good of people when I meet them, and I worry sometimes that can lead me like astray, and I think logically sometimes about that. And I was just wondering, so just being able to discern, is that like the most important thing to do
100%.
To know if a boy's being genuine?
100%. Yeah, just take a step back and, like, if you already know that you have that tendency, it's fine having that tendency. It's bad to have that tendency and not be aware of it. You're aware of it. So now that you're aware of it, you know how to not fall into that trap. So even when you find yourself doing that, you can just ask, does his words and his actions align?
Perfect.
If he says that he's taking you seriously, but then you don't hear from him for 3 days, you know what I mean? That's going to be the first thing that I would tell you. There's more that I could say. I would not get too crazy with the alcohol. Most of the problems on college campuses are alcohol related.
Yeah,
So,
I don't want to find myself in a situation
right.
where I'm not fully there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Any kind of essay, anything like that, 9 times out of 10, there's alcohol involved. So just be mindful of that. If you do those two things, you will navigate the terrain successfully. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
No problem, love. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
All right. We got next. Lena.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, Lena, you called in earlier, right?
Yes, and then I think I had terrible connection. Oh my gosh. Okay, finally.
Okay, you got to start back
I
over
was
for
a
the
Bumble story girl.
Okay, start back over from the beginning so the new people here can follow.
Of course. So I downloaded Bumble last week. I was like, you know what? I'm going to download it. My first match, I had really good conversation. I was attracted to the guy. The conversation was there. And then he asked me out on a date, I think a couple messages in, and it was very smooth. And usually I have a rule where I don't want to meet until like maybe after 3 days of talking. But for some reason I had a good feeling. So I was like, sure, like let's grab. I'm down to meet. Here's my number. Let's meet. He asked me, so again, just for context, my girlfriends say that you should play a little bit hard to get. Don't be so available. Make sure he's meeting your timeline. I don't know if that's true. So I actually want a male's perspective. So I said, this weekend is tough, but I could try Sunday evening or sometime next week. So he said, okay, let's do Sunday evening. Then I did play a little games. I was like, actually, I can't do Sunday evening, but I can do during the day. He got back to me. He was like, okay, how about 2:30? And I said, that sounds great. The last text he sent me, he was like, let me think of a place and get back to you. That was Friday evening, FYI. Didn't hear back from him until Sunday, the day of, at 8 in the morning. He was like, hey, morning. I was thinking about it, and I was wondering if we could actually push it to like a weekday evening, right? So I didn't like that he rescheduled, and especially the day of. So I was like, yeah, let me get back to you and I'll let you know. Back to him, and he hasn't followed up. Did I like self-sabotage?
100%. Your friends who told you that, are they single?
They are married. So they're not saying don't play. They're not saying like, they're just saying make him work for it.
What they're saying isn't wrong. It's directionally accurate.
Oh, okay.
But it's a lower level, right? How long have they been married?
3 years.
Okay.
All of my girlfriends are married.
Okay.
But they say a guy likes a challenge. So if he's really interested, he would follow up and be like, hey, I haven't heard from you. Does Tuesday or Wednesday still work?
Right.
We're freaking, is it Thursday? We're on Thursday. So he clearly did not follow up. So he's not interested, right?
No. So I want to get back to what their friend said.
Okay.
What they said has truth to it, right?
Okay.
Because men value what they have to work for to a certain degree.
Yes.
You don't
I was told that.
You don't want to create it artificially though. Even though that works, you don't want to create it artificially, because what you'll see is like, it's called survivorship bias, meaning like you hear about it working for the women who it worked for, but you don't hear about the women who tried doing that and they sabotaged it and it didn't work out. So all you hear is the success stories, but you don't hear the failures. It's like dating apps. People are like, a lot of people are getting married from dating apps. Yeah, the survivorship. I promise you, way more people are having a bad time on dating apps.
Wait, can I actually tell you? So one of my friends, she met a guy on Bumble. She deleted the app, right?
Okay.
She deleted the app. The guy couldn't forget about her. He found her, I think, on Facebook.
Okay.
Waited a month later to message her, be like, hey, we matched a month ago, but I have these tickets to like an opera and I thought about you. Could you give me a chance? And I want a story like hers, because the fact that he went out of his way to find her, right, over like small banter, he obviously, if he wanted to, he would, right?
He didn't go on any dates with her?
So they did a little bit of talking through Bumble, but she deleted the apps. She was like, it's not meant for me. But somehow he found her through Facebook or LinkedIn, and he messaged her. He tried once more. because she deleted the apps, so the chat went away.
That may sound romantic, but no. He either is a little off, or she's
Really?
or she's completely like she's the hottest girl he matched with, and he was like, I got to get this one because he wasn't matching with anyone else that hot.
So you're saying that's not normal for the guy?
That's
'Cause
not
it sounds
nothing.
romantic.
That's nothing to aspire to. That's what kind of trips people up, is that wanting that romance, and it's like, if it's a dating app, for one, get the romance out of your head because it's a dating app. You already ruined it by being by being on a dating app in the first place. You want romance, go to like Trader Joe's and just sit there until Prince Charming walks in. But no, you overplayed your hand in this situation. It would have been better to go on date. The higher level to accomplish the same thing that your girlfriends are telling you without sabotaging yourself is just to have natural boundaries.
But you don't think it was a little off that he rescheduled the day of? We're
Here's
supposed
the
to meet 2:30.
here's the thing, love. He's probably doing the exact same thing you're doing. This is the
What do you
thing.
mean?
We got to game theory this shit out. You're not the only person who is hearing about advice on how they should engage. Men also hear that.
They do?
Yes. We're people. So we also hear, oh, you got to engage like this. Oh, if she takes 2 hours to text you, you got to wait 2 or 3 hours to text her back. We hear the same type of shit. So when you start the game, it's like, now the refs are coming in, because now it's really game time. So when he picks up, oh, you're playing games. All right, well, here we go. Let me suit up. Let me do my stretches.
My question is, we had a date set for Sunday 2:30. Why did he text me 8 in the morning saying, I think it's better that we meet on an evening on the weekday? Would it be okay if we could do that? Like, what? I'm just curious from his perspective, or from yours.
I
'cause
can't
you're
I
a
can't
guy.
tell you 100%, but I can tell you a couple of possibilities. One possibility is you rescheduling or not being available made him think you were a time waster and someone who was likely going to flake. So then he just matched with somebody else, and then she got that slot because she wasn't playing games, right? Or he's trying to take control of the frame again, meaning he sees you trying to make things happen on your time, and he's trying to take control. It's a power play. I'm trying to now make things happen on my time, right?
So you don't think my friend saying it could be a possibility that he's trying to set the mood, because you said you're free during the day, but usually during the day you can't do anything romantic? Or do you think she's just bluffing?
It's not romantic. If he's trying to set the mood, he's trying to sleep with you.
Oh.
He's not thinking is a man on Bumble. He's not thinking like, how do I romance? That's not, again, are you watching like are you going to turn on romantic comedy after we have this conversation?
Yes, I'm a rom-com lover.
I
All of
could
my
tell.
friends who met on the apps got married. They are like the 1% of it working out. But
Are
so you don't,
are they happily married?
I mean, the ones who are less than 5 years, yes.
Okay.
The ones who have kids, they seem miserable.
Okay. Because the married thing doesn't fool me, because it's like sometimes people just want to get married and then they'll just shoehorn somebody into that slot. So, okay, you're going to be the person because I want to be married now. We're already dating, so let me just marry you. I don't really want to marry the guy, but it's like, I want to be married. I said I was going to be married by now, so this is the one I'm dating. Let me go ahead and do it. Right? So just because someone's married, you got to like really have discernment there to see like, is this really, you know? But yes, you don't have to play those games. If you just simply have boundaries, you are checking the same box, but you're checking it in a more organic way, an authentic way, right? So if somebody is encroaching upon your boundaries, you just set the boundaries. In that way, the guy feels like he has to invest a bit more, right? That's just the more natural way of doing it, not to pretend like you're too busy. That's just going to annoy people. Especially when you consider that a lot of people are doing the same thing. You got to look at the full landscape. It's not just you and him in this world. It's you, him, and a lot of other people on this app. Other people that he's talking to probably took the same advice. He's probably dealt with women before who just artificially changed plans because their girlfriends told him to do that. Now he's rolling his eyes because you sound like the other girls. He's like, who can I get?
Maybe
Who's
it's
cool?
because, so the last time I was on the apps 2 years ago, I've had guys who would like triple text me. Like, hey, like I remember one time I was like, I'm not ready to date. Like, I wish you the best. I remember this guy followed up a month later after I said that. He was like, hey, like, I know you said you're not ready to date, but I have this reservation at this Michelin restaurant in New York. Like, I was supposed to take my mom and she couldn't make it. Like, do you want to join? Like, I have a lot of guys who just, like, triple text. They put their pride aside.
Okay.
Even though we've never met. Are you saying that's like a different breed? They're a different breed?
What do you mean by different breed?
Like,
I've
had guys who I've never met who, when I would play a little bit hard to get, they would follow up at least once or twice. Whereas this guy, he clearly did not follow up.
I wouldn't look at you will select for a guy who is a bit desperate. I'm a men's coach. I don't teach any of my guys to do that. I teach none of my guys to do that. I personally wouldn't do that. You would just miss out on me, to be honest with you, because there's 100 other women I could talk to. Think about that. There's 100. I can manifest a date. If I want a date tomorrow, I can manifest it, right?
But
so it's like,
find someone you have good like conversation with.
Yes, because it's a volume game at the end of the day. We're on a dating app.
But okay, so I have another example. My sister who got married to my brother-in-law, she canceled on him, but she was actually really busy. She canceled on him 3 times because she was going through something. He constantly followed up, but he's not desperate. I know him. He had options, but he was saying he kept trying because he truly felt that their conversation was very special.
I don't buy it. Not on an app.
It was on Hinge.
Yeah, not on an app. Your conversation ain't that special on no app. That's just something he's saying because it sounds romantic. I promise you, man. No one out here who has, I know guys who have hella options. They don't move this way. They do not move this way. Someone just said it. You're romanticizing it. You're romanticizing the experience. No, you're selecting for guys who probably don't have options like that. I promise you, a guy who is sitting on 100 matches right now is not like, well, this one says she's too busy, so let me, out of the 100 other women I could be talking to, this one says she's too busy, so I think I'm in love with her. Let me go and try to get. That may be on the Hallmark movies. That's not real life. Those guys are putting in very little effort, to be honest with you. It's like they're kind of being chased a little bit. So it's not what you think it is. And just because someone has other options doesn't mean they were good options. Your friend may have just been the most attractive one out of the ones he had access to.
I'm just curious if you, let's just say you were in the guy's situation, would you have followed up or you wouldn't have?
No, once you made it difficult for me to set the date, I probably would have talked to the other women I was already talking to if I'm on a dating app. You weren't the only one, right? So when I'm desirable enough, there's probably 8 other matches I have. You're one of 8 conversations I'm having. You're being difficult to schedule with. So then I go back to another woman who is not difficult to schedule with, and I schedule with them.
Okay, so this one I just gotta learn. It's a learning lesson.
Yeah, just don't be artificially difficult. Again, have your boundaries. Because what is true is, here's the through line of all the experiences that you're saying. The way that I'm thinking about it is like there's levels to it, right? I have to give you like a biblical example, just because it's the best thing I can come up with. So like people want happiness, right? But happiness is like a lower expression of joy. Joy is better than happiness. It's an elevated version of happiness, right? So you're trying to stand apart from your competition, but you're standing apart from your competition by being difficult, right? That's like your version of happiness. Joy in this situation would be you just having boundaries. So you're accomplishing the same thing. For desirable guys, a lot of women have no boundaries because the guy's so desirable and they want them so bad. But when you see a guy like that who ends up marrying the woman, it's because she wasn't moving like the rest of his options are, right?
But
she
was
has
I being
self-respect.
difficult? You think so?
Yes, because you could have just went on the date. You were available. You were telling him that.
So he asked me on a Friday what my weekend plans were. So I said Sunday. So he said Sunday evening. But like it's a week. Like for girls, we want like at least a week advance of
No, that's not how you're changing your story. That's not how you opened up the story. Your story was your girlfriends told you that you have to make them work for it, so you kept changing when your availability was.
Yes, but he asked me out on a Friday.
Okay.
So he asked me, what are your plans in the next few days?
Okay.
And I just think, if I'm like, oh, I don't have any plans, like, yeah, let's meet. I think that's like, I don't know, something about that doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah,
So
but
I said,
but the thing is, you didn't have any plans.
yeah, I didn't.
You see what I'm saying? So again, yes, you're being difficult. You didn't have any plans. So it's like,
okay.
it's don't lie. It's the same thing of guys pretending like they're busy, but really they're just trying to make it seem like they're unavailable. Guys do the same thing. Someone will text them and they'll wait hours to text back just to create this air of busyness. But then with like a really high quality woman, she's gonna be like, well, I don't appreciate that, so I'm going to not talk to you anymore now. Right? So you push away the high quality people, and then you attract the people who are used to not being treated well. So it depends. Like, do you want the romantic story or do you want a quality person?
So you're saying that it might sound romantic from the outside, but it's not that romantic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, the guy who found my friend a month later.
It's performative. It doesn't mean that it's going to be, you are looking at the wrong thing. You need to look at the quality of the connection, not the origin story. The quality of the connection is what's going to create long-term happiness. You want a story that you can tell your friends. It's almost as if you don't necessarily even want the relationship to begin with. You just want to be a part of the group and have a fun story to share with everyone that paints you in this like egoic, like I'm super valuable light. Ultimately, what you're really looking for is validation, right? You're looking at the romantic story as being an indication of your value. If I have this romantic story, origin story, then I had such high value that I was able to have this story in the first place, right? It's a losing strategy, love, and you'll lose good people in the process, okay? Now, it may happen for you, but you can't artificially create it. If it's going to happen, if there's going to be some romantic way that you meet the love of your life, it needs to just organically happen that way. You can't be the screenwriter behind the scenes, like narrating. Like, you're trying to be Morgan Freeman of this shit, right? And you just can't. You can't do that. It's not going to work that way.
Okay. Lesson learned. Thank you so much.
No problem, Lena. You take care, all right?
You too. Thank you.
Bye. That was a good call to end on. Good little call to end on. No more calls. But if you have a question, you can drop it in the chat. We see why he doesn't coach women. Y'all say that every day. But yes, I'm going to point it out every single time. Yes. Coaching women would be very difficult. For sure. Guys are a bit more simple to coach. Got some messages here. All right, what was the favorite call from tonight? But don't you learn more about women when you coach them? I know enough about women as it is. I can learn more, of course, but I'm pretty knowledgeable on that front as is. Appreciate you, Troy. College girl was your favorite? Cool. She says she wants Trendy to come up. Trendy, you want to come up? I'll make an exception if you want to come up, Trendy. Excuse me, Ariana. I wanted to call, but I'm too nervous. Why is that, Lori? Why are you nervous, beloved? What's making you nervous? You can call back tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow night. She should replace the Bachelorette. It just got canceled. She did get canceled. Was it like some domestic violence that made her get canceled? I saw like a clip of that. No more, man. I thought I was lucky. Quick question. See, Jordan, you got like a real quick question, bro? I'll let you up if you got a real quick question. Only because we haven't had any men tonight. She was making my head hurt. What does it mean when a man says he sees himself marrying you, but wouldn't say I will marry you? How long did y'all date, love? I need more context there. The last caller was cool, resonated with her story. Really? So you also want like a romantic, you want to meet cute? Ain't that what they call it? Do men think that showing their love is a bad thing, and why? Generally, no, I don't think so. What makes you ask that question? I'll call tomorrow then. All right, love. No dating apps really take boots to the ground outside shit. Right. Right. That's for the best. That's for the best. You want that fairy tale, right? 3 years and we've been having issues and had a sit down conversation to work on it. So 3 years and he says that he wants to. Okay, so what issues have y'all been having, if you don't mind me sharing? Because it is possible that the issues are preventing the marriage, right? Or him proposing, depending on how severe they are. How to get a man to do chores? Positive reinforcement. Disney dating app pending, right? What is this? Well, being young and Delulu was fun. Those were good times. I feel you. Friends tell me I'm Delulu and to get over myself. It's probably true, CC. It's probably true. Like the question, do men think showing love can be a bad thing? Can't make an exception, coach. Let me come up for 5 minutes. I told you, bro, you can request. If you request, I'll let you up. Only because you're a guy and we haven't had any male callers tonight. Let the P be a reward for chores? Nah, don't do that. Don't do that. Because then you'll set that dynamic. I tell guys, nip that in the bud. If your woman ever tries to like link smets to it being a reward, never enter that frame. Smets is mutually beneficial. It's not a reward for you. I don't even like. Don't even accept that, because then the cost is going to get higher and higher and higher. It's a bad game to play. Who's this? How do you pronounce? Nah. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Nice profile pic though. I remember I had to check a chick one time. She like jokingly said, "If you do this, I'll give you some." I'm like, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Go ahead and cut that shit out. She never did that shit again either. We're not. I'm not that guy, beloved. Should I go back after she micro cheated? How did she micro cheat? What's your villain origin story? I don't have a villain origin story, love. I'm not a villain. I don't think so. What's up, Bobby? Where you been at, bro? Mm, yeah, Christina, you did miss things, love. Gotta do better. You must do better. It's a nice profile pic too, Christina. Definitely come back earlier next time. What the fuck is micro cheating? Micro cheating is like talking to somebody in the DMs, right? It's anything that is micro cheating is essentially what you would do before you actually cheat. Before you actually cheat with somebody, there's a whole build up. Assuming you're not like a bop and just giving it out, right? You gotta exchange numbers, you gotta talk, you gotta flirt a bit, right? So everything you would do, the build up stage, it would be considered micro cheating. One day was good, Linda. Better now though, for some reason. How was yours? No villain starts out thinking they're the one. They're the one either, coach. You know what's funny? I intentionally don't date as much as I could to avoid becoming the villain. Something I haven't talked about. I intentionally take very long breaks, even though I could date 24/7, because I don't want to become the villain. I don't want to become desensitized. And get into this place where now you're objectifying, right? I feel like if you do it enough, you'll get to that place where you'll objectify the opposite sex. Like they're not even human really to you anymore. Because already as a coach, dating is weird because I see too much. And it's like, it could be weird. All right, let's let Buddy up real quick. Jay Burner, what's going on, bro?
What up, Coach? I don't know if you remember, we spoke a bit, probably a week ago or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I had a question I've been thinking about, and it's essentially, how do you go about, let's say you get into a fresh relationship, and you have certain rules within yourself that you don't really allow, and certain things you don't do in a relationship, right? The way that I usually go about things is I kind of let the woman do what she wants to do. And then on a 3 to 6 month basis, I'm like, okay, she did this, she did that. That in the third, this is not the woman for me, right? And I found myself in a situation where I started to like somebody a lot. And I kind of just started to tell her, you probably shouldn't be doing this, probably shouldn't be doing that. And then she called me controlling, right? So I guess my main question is it better to kind of like don't say anything and let the woman do her thing, or kind of like tell her not to do certain things or to do certain things? I don't know if you get my question, but... Yeah.
Kind of. Give me specifics, though. What were you trying to tell her not to do?
Okay, for example, not to go to a bar with her coworkers if it's too late, a bar that turns into a club or something like that, right?
Okay.
In my previous relationships, I would not give a fuck. I wouldn't say nothing about it. I just let them do whatever they want to do, and I'd break up because I don't care, right?
Okay.
But I found myself with this woman that I'm with right now that I'm kind of like emotionally attached to her, so I'm kind of like trying to help her avoid doing certain things that will jeopardize what we got going on. So, yeah.
Are y'all in a relationship?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, so she's trying to go out to a bar at what time? You said too late. So what time are we talking?
Yeah, too late. Too late's like 11. Yeah.
Okay. Go out to a bar at 11, and you said that she will be controlling. Is this something that she frequently would do, or is this like a more of a rare experience?
Oh, it's pretty rare. It's pretty rare. I guess my question is mainly, like, is it better to just let the woman do what she wants to do?
It's to a point. It's to a point.
Okay.
And you got to use discernment. And this situation is pretty much harmless. because the assumption is what's underneath this suggestion that you're making is I don't trust that you're going to hold it down, so I need to stop you from putting yourself in bad situations. Problem with that is you can't. It's not a sustainable strategy.
Okay.
Right? If you're with someone you can't trust them around other people, you're just with the wrong person. Now, with that being said, there are times where you have to kind of like put, those boundaries up, right? If it's like a more extreme situation, right? Let's say she wants to go to, I just think of Freaknik. It's not even a thing anymore. Let's say like she wanted to go to Houston spring break. Right?
Hell no. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? It's way worse than what you were talking about. Way worse. Like, oh, my girls invite me to Houston spring break. I would think that's a shit test, really. It's really just see if you won't let her.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
And it's like something like that. You go to Houston spring break because you already know what the vibe's going to be. The bar, you can argue like, yeah, there might be guys there that want her, but so are the guys at Publix in the grocery store. You know what I mean? So it's like it's relatively harmless. Doing something that extreme though is like, oh, you are intentionally putting yourself in the lion's den. You're not respecting this relationship. So yeah, I would probably break up with you just for asking the question like that.
Right.
Just for being goofy like that. So yeah, it's just a matter of degree. It's like how severe is the situation, right? Especially if you look at this as like you're going to come across a little bit controlling when you do it, so you might as well pick your battles with it. And going to the bar at 11 p.m. is really not that big a deal, especially if it's not a regular occurrence. If it's like a rare occurrence, her going out.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that makes complete sense, man. To be honest with you, I've been dating for quite a while, and I this is the first time I found myself emotionally attached to a woman, bro. And it's effing me up right now, to be honest with you. And I'm already seeing it in the comments. The women are saying, "Oh, Mr. Controlling, Mr. Controller, Mr. this and that." Right? I think I'm having a hard time differentiating being controlling and being a man and telling my woman that maybe you shouldn't be doing this right now. Right?
Yeah, it's a real tension. And hopefully what we just talked about gave you clarity, but that's something that women, they don't have to think about because it's a different dynamic. They're playing a different role, right? So it's like, but we got to think about those type of things. So it's like, okay, how do we balance between actually serving the relationship and putting those boundaries up there? That's our role as leaders, right? Part of being a leader is creating that structure as part of masculinity, right? You create the structure, right? Women are more in the generally speaking, like there are women who are very, depending on her level of psychological development, right? There are very high quality women out there who are psychologically developed, who can kind of lead themselves. They don't really, they've integrated their masculinity to a degree to where they can provide their own structure. They exist.
Right.
But generally speaking, a lot of women are in that girls just want to have fun mindset. They're not even thinking about all of the things you're thinking about when you're suggesting not doing the activity, right? And that is part of our role, right? So it's you just want to think about where it's coming from. What place is it coming from, right? So really introspect and say, why does this feel threatening to me? Is it because I feel like she's in a vulnerable position, or do I feel like this is a threat because she may be taken from me, right? And if you're coming from that place, you're probably thinking about it wrong. But then you have to also factor in the variable of like, if it's a severe situation, the woman who's going out to the bar rarely is not going to ever do the thing the example that I gave, which is like go to Houston spring break, right? Like she's just not the type of girl. But you get the distinction though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, that's how I would embrace it, man, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. The reason why I brought it up to her recently about the bar club situation is because bro, you kind of have to pick your battles, right? Because she's extremely feminine. She's a really feminine woman. She knows what to do and what not to do. But at the same time, she can also be gullible. She thinks that people have the best interests at heart for her. She thinks that, for example, when we first started dating, she'd think that, oh, men just want to be my friend or whatever. It's like certain guys can be friends with me, blah, blah, blah. Until I was like, you know what? Go ahead. Try this with this one guy friend, see what he says, and then fail. She was like, oh my God, this guy we were friends for 2 years and I didn't know he was thinking that way of me. You know, she's kind of gullible, right? So when we went out together with some of her friends, some of her work friends, one of them liked to drink. She likes to drink a lot and just do dumb shit, to be honest, right? And then she was like, yo, girl, we got to go out again next week and do this and do that. So it's looking like it might be something that'll be happening more frequently. And to be honest with you, I'm more in the background where I'm like, okay, I want to let her do what she wants to do to see what she'll do. And then based on that decision that she makes, I'll make my decision, which is either to break up with her or to obviously keep going with the relationship. Instead of telling her, don't go, right? Because obviously at the end of the day, nobody's forcing you to go to the club, right? So if you go, then you've made your decision type of thing. What do you think about that?
There's a higher level here that you're not considering. I got this game from my coach. This is a mistake I actually made in my past relationship. Play a higher game, but you gotta play like 5D chess. So if you're gonna lead her into better friendships. Right? So you go out, meet other couples who are probably more positive influences. Right? If she's naive, then she may in her naivete, she may go out and just make friends with people who are not going to be positive influences on her because she don't know any better, right? If you know that, instead of directly addressing it, zoom up a level and then just orchestrate the social engagements in general, right? So it's like, if you want her to have better friends, then introduce her to better friends, because she clearly wants friends. So this woman is a friend.
She does.
So it's like, okay, if she wants friends, okay, let me go out and lead socially, right? You probably already lead financially, you lead in other ways. Okay, let's lead socially now. Let me go and introduce my lady to these other couples who have similar values. Not force a relationship, not be like, you must be friends with her, but like, no, just you just facilitate the process. Then she may be like, oh, I like Tasha. And Tasha's been married for 10 years and has the wisdom of what it's like to be in a relationship, knowing that like being with somebody, it's not about you just doing whatever you want to do all the time. Right? And she may give her that game, because if Tasha's her friend, Tasha's going to be who she goes to complain about the relationship. And you want someone who's going to reinforce positive relationship views during that moment.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. And I've actually started to do exactly just that, right? I've introduced her a lot to some of my married friends that has kids and whatnot. But again, my issue with some of her friends are the people that she grew up with. You know, she grew up with certain people that I don't really like, and people that she works with, for example, I don't really have control over that, right? So I can obviously introduce her to new people and my friends, but the people that she's already around are kind of like my issues.
Yeah.
And I don't want to force myself in there and be like, you know what, this person, you probably shouldn't be around them. You probably shouldn't hang around them.
You have to take that slow though. Like if you genuinely are seeing that the people that she are friends with are an issue, and this is a problem that women don't see because they don't see it from the man's perspective. A lot of women get into goofy situations because of their friends. It happens all the time, man. It happens all the time, bro. I'm not saying men don't.
She'll call me. She's like, "Can you pick me up? This happened. She couldn't be there for me." Then I have to drive 2 hours and go get her and all that.
You see what I'm saying?
You know,
yeah. So now our friends, you know, like it's little stuff like you just said. It's like it happens all the time. It's not to say that it doesn't happen with men too, but it happens a lot with women. So it's like you'll see women. This is a cliche example. A lot of women have said like they were friends with someone, and the guy, I've experienced this personally. I remember my ex had a homegirl she had met, and I was like, she's jealous of you. She's like, no, she's not. I said, I promise you she is. I watched y'all. She don't like you like that. And then guess what happened a month later? That jealousy came up. And I didn't know this was like a regular thing with like in relationships. It's like the guy looks at the woman's friends and be like, oh, shorty don't fuck with you like that for real. And she just can't see it. She can't see it. She's too close to it, right? Yeah. So then she sees it and she's like, oh shit, he was right. And it's like, yeah. Because we I don't know why that's the case, but we could just see things like that, right? So if you do see people who are actually a bad influence. You can't just be like, don't talk to that person. You have to let her come to that conclusion herself. So like, you know, point out some of the things. Like when you even said like, you think that was a good thing. You think like, you know, friendships are important, right? You want to have friendships for life, right? You want friends who are going to treat you well and look out for you. Do you think she was being a good friend when she kind of left you in that situation, had to pick you up, right? Like if I did that, I would be a bad boyfriend, right? So you think she's a good friend if she does stuff like that? You gotta plant the seed a little bit. You know, get her gears turned. She probably isn't thinking about it in that way. So you have to like help her come to that conclusion herself instead of being like, don't talk to her anymore. Because then you're gonna trigger that rebellious nature of like, oh, you said don't do it, now I gotta do it, right? Let her see like, oh, right? Like I did with the jealousy thing. I like gave her an example of jealousy. She thought about it, and then she actually saw a more extreme version of the jealousy. She was like, you were right about her. She doesn't fuck with me at all. I'm like, yeah, I tried to tell you.
Right. That's honestly that's kind of like my situation right now, and I guess which leads me to my next question. What does it look like for you to repeat yourself in situations? You know, this one friend has left her stranded one time, and I had to go pick her up 2 hours from my location, and the friend couldn't be there for her at the end of the day, right? And I'm like, you know what? You should probably not be with this friend, right? Mm-hmm. And what if she's now, because she said it before, she's had this friend for many years before we got together, and she has excuses for the friend and why the friend does what she does, right? And again, from naturally, the type of person that I am, I don't really like to repeat myself. If you want to do something, you do it, and then you reap the consequences, right? Now, how would you approach that? Would you repeat yourself, or would you then let her do what she wants to do, and then what?
No, if there's like a resistance and it's really creating a problem in a relationship, here's the thing. I personally, at this phase, I wouldn't even deal with somebody like that. I'd rather sacrifice some femininity if it saves me like peace of mind. Because you want a woman, I prefer to deal with a woman who's going to add value to my life like I'm adding to hers. So I want someone who I appreciate her mind, someone who's intelligent, someone who I admire, not just for their beauty, but also because she can add to my life, right? I'm not looking for someone who I have to do all the thinking for them.
Yeah, man, that's the situation, bro.
You know what I mean? Because you make but that's the sacrifice, right? When you try to maximize femininity, the more femininity, the less they have that quality that I'm talking about, right? So it's like you get the benefit of like someone who's super feminine, but then also it's like you got to make all the decisions, you got to do all the thinking, it's like having a toddler, you got to child-proof the house, damn near. So it's like, do you want to deal with that? I don't, right? I'd rather have a more of a balance. Let's get 70% femininity and then 30% masculinity. I think that's a good balance for someone like me. I don't need you to be 100% feminine, because then it's like I want to be able to come to you for advice sometimes. Like, what do you think about this? I want to respect your, like a lot of guys they really have like a father-daughter dynamic. They would never go to their woman and be like, what do you think about this? They would never do that because they don't respect her opinion on anything. Right? I want to respect your opinion. I'm still going to lead and stuff like that and provide, but it's like I still want your perspective on things. So for me to want your perspective, it means that I must trust your judgment. I want a queen who has, who's wise, who can actually provide wise counsel. And you don't get it. Yeah, you don't get it all. That's the thing. You don't get it all. You're always sacrificing something. Life is about trade-offs. There's always trade-offs. Yeah. So a lot of guys are like, I want the feminine. It's like, okay, you can have the feminine, but just know what that comes with.
No, that's a very good point, because you mentioned something that I've been thinking about for a very long time, which is always having to think for the other person and what she's doing, always having to kind of plan her steps for her. You probably should be doing this and all that. And again, as somebody that's she's extremely, extremely feminine and emotional, it's very hard to deal with. But at the same time, I love her. She's a great person. She's, she has great qualities and whatnot. But yeah, that's a good point. The last thing I'm gonna say is though, I did see a comment in the section that said she's already called him controlling. She's gonna be observing, which is why I'm like, maybe I should lay low and let her do what she wants to do, and then kind of like then give her some more advice a bit later on when she's done doing whatever she wants to do. What do you think?
Yeah, I would not die on the hill of like her going out to the bar. I wouldn't die on that hill. I would just let her do that. I mean, like, people are hyper fixated on the word let, but I would just not have a problem with that so much.
Right.
Because it's really not problematic to go out to a bar. Like, people have to live their lives. And again, if someone's going to cheat on you, bro, they're going to cheat on you. You can't stop it. So
Yeah, they will. Yeah.
so if that's the fear, then it's like you just gotta accept that the game is the game. But yeah, hopefully you get someone who you can trust. But that again comes into like the femininity play, where it's like the real feminine girls, man, they live in the present moment. They're not thinking about none of that shit. It's la 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 la. That's the real feminine girls. It's la 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 up here. I'm telling you. That don't mean they're stupid or anything either. It just means it's just no real structure there. Telling you, that's just how they are. So yeah, you're gonna have to, like I said, that childproof analogy is spot on. You're gonna have to childproof shit. You're just gonna have to that's part of your role.
Yeah. Because it's not even about her going to the bar or the club. It's me going. She invited me over actually last time, like I said, to meet her friends and her coworkers and whatnot. I was just observing everybody, just watching people. And then some people were like, "Yeah, we're gonna get hammered tonight," like, we're gonna get hammered. And this one shorty, she was talking about, "Yeah, where the niggas at?" Oh, my bad. She was like, "Yeah, where the dudes at?" Oh, but my bad, TikTok. My bad. That's my fault.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then she looked at my girl and she was like, "Yeah, we gotta do this again next week." I ain't say nothing, right? So it's more about the people that surround her and her living in the present moment. That's the issue. So I'm like, something maybe on the way, she doesn't see it coming, But then I can't
Right.
tell her because I'll be controlling. But I digress.
That's
I
true.
appreciate your time.
I heard a guy who I used to follow. I don't know if I mentioned RSD to you before. I'm not saying that I know I naturally agree with him, but I thought it was a very interesting idea. He was like, nowadays, I'm gonna tell you the real game. You gotta befriend everybody. He was like, you gotta make the friends like you. He said, you fucking make the friends like you. Go out with them. You buy shots for everybody. You make the friends like you, right? It's an investment, because he's like, because eventually she's gonna go and complain about you, and you want them on your side. Oh, that's an interesting thought,
That's a
right?
good plan.
You definitely don't want to be the guy who's like judging them and being standoffish, because they're like, oh, fuck this guy, right? But if they really
Yeah.
genuinely like you, they might be like, well, Tiffany, is that really a good idea? You know what I mean? He's kind of a good guy. Is it really a good idea? Like, get them to like you, win them over a little bit, win the family over. If a brother needs a job, you get your connections involved and get them employment, right? It's like you just win everybody over. So whoever she complains to, you're like, you better not fuck that up, right? I thought it was a good idea. I think it's like kind of overkill, but I think that it definitely requires some thought. But yeah,
Hey man, it's overkill, but it's not at the same time because I've done that with some of her friends, her mom and her sister. Foolproof. She can't say nothing about me to her mom and sister. They'll get on her ass about it. But no, when I did go out with the friends though, I was watching some people. This one guy, he was apparently, he's gay. 2026, cool, you can be gay, whatever. Right. I was watching everybody, man, just to see, and he was like, yeah, she's like a little sister to me. I looked at him like, yeah, okay, cool, you like a little sister to you, bro. Cool, I appreciate it. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's just anyways, bro, I appreciate your time. I don't want to take too much more of your time, but
no problem, bro.
yeah,
Definitely keep me posted on how it goes, all right?
I appreciate you, boss.
All right, G.
All
Easy.
right.
That was a good call. Glad I let him up. Finally got a guy in the panel. But yeah, it's like, yeah, some guys are controlling. That's true. But with him, I don't think he wants to be. When you are leading, there's like a tension that has to be managed, right? Part of leading is providing the path. creating the structure. If you go too far in one extreme, it can kind of get into controlling. Yeah, he doesn't sound malicious. Doesn't sound malicious at all, right? So there are some guys, we've heard of controlling guys up here. If y'all been on the live for a while, we've had some controlling guys. It's a different energy. Yeah, it's a different energy. We've had some controlling, and I would call them that. I would let them know that they're being controlling. I don't think he's being controlling. I think he's trying to be the man, the leader in the relationship. And he's trying to navigate it in the best way he knows how. And there ain't no rule book on this shit. You gotta just figure it out. I think he's more mature